I'm Bhavidhir V. Bhardwaj. Welcome to episode 32 of Genesis of Tomorrow. The following is a conversation about energy intelligence, AI, technology, humanity, and more with Mr. Michael Davis, aka Michael Logic, Principal Solutions Architect and co founder at Enerjuice. Also, folks, if you're interested in such deep science and deep tech conversations and are able to garner even the slightest bit of value from the show, please support us by clicking that subscribe button so that we can keep improving the quality of the episodes and keep on bringing such wonderful guests over for you. And now, without any further ado, let's get right into it. Enjoy and thank you. And we are rolling now. Okay, first of all, once again, welcome to the show. Thank you for agreeing to do this. And before anything else, I think a good place to start is by asking you what your vision for technology in general is. What do you think the motivation behind technology should be for those who are working on them, researching upon them, and developing them?
Wow, that's a very good question. Um, I think that most importantly, um, our our current time, AI is taking us on a journey to rediscover what it means to be human. I firmly believe that is one of the events that is taking place, and that will reveal one of the differences in country development, in the drives of different humans as it relates to tech development. And my statement about AI and its revelation of what it means to be human seems to be playing out in a direct receipt and transparency in your latest events with DeepSeek and ChatGPT. Before this competition or this time here, I remember watching a video in which Elon Musk and Jack Ma were interviewed. They were both asked to give their opinions on artificial intelligence, and it became clear then the philosophy that will play out as it relates to American technology. And for this conversation, let's just say Chinese technology. Jack Ma's philosophy seemed to focus on placing value in the human spirit, value in the human experience, in its inability to be completely duplicated by man. Elon Musk seemed to focus only on the machine's ability to gather and respond with intelligence. He was quite fascinated by how smart or how smarter a robot could be than a human. And Jack Ma was founded on the principle that a creation is only as good as its creator, and man cannot recreate man, only God. Okay. I think those in general terms can be broken down to different little microcosms, you know. But if you are American and maybe, hey, integrity is not on the top of your list right now, just look at the ability for a vision of that nature to be able to sustain a longer period of success, a longer period of uncontested revenue due to the deterioration of a company's respect and need for human factors. Okay, I firmly believe if a company or a developer or a human approaches artificial intelligence to build for the sake of extending humanity, evolving humanity, right, it would play out in a way in which us as a collective become smarter, us as a collective become more ingrained in our general purpose of coexisting in this world. And if you just ask me, I think at the end of that journey, the AI is going to take us on to be human. I honestly think one of the greatest and biggest epiphanies that we're going to have is going to look like something in the Avatar. And metaphorically, and it's a metaphor, but I say um, a focus on tech for intelligence and profit takes us away from the quintessential power that I think us as humans have. We were made of this earth, right? There's not one element in us that did not come from Mother Earth, right? Okay. So what this means is that to tap back into Mother Earth, to reconnect with Mother Earth, to listen to what she's saying to us, with New York sinking, Florida eroding, California burning. Are we using text messages, chat bots, phone calls, video chats, podcasts, pagers, and still can't hear the message from Mother Earth? You know? So I honestly think that the reason why AI is here, the reason why you build technology is quite transparent. And I think it's only clouded when you start to deal with humans of lesser integrity.
I think it's extremely seminal for that, for figures who are at leadership roles to especially be mindful of this, how this entire dynamic between human and nature works, and how it's us who are servile to the nature and not the other way around, not to
Yeah.
get a lot high in our heads and just think that, okay, right, we are building robots now. We have robots around us, so that means we'll be able to fabricate a environment which is habitable for humans by completely neglecting or being ignorant to the environment that we have been already from the very birth of our existence a part of.
Hmm. Hmm.
And how do you think that such leaders can be brought about into the ecosystem of business and research?
Hmm. That's a very good question. I mean, that's a tough question. I don't think there is an easy answer for that. I also, man, this is a really emotional time. This is really a tough time, and I think if you are born and raised in America, a person of color, and I mean anywhere, any shade, from your shade to mine, you're feeling something that's intentional. You're feeling something that is meant to break you down. And this is coming from the people that we just spoke about and trying to bring them into the fold. Okay. So it's kind of emotional. It's kind of emotional to say one of the first things we have to do is fix the narrative that you or I are any less valuable than any person that lacks melanin. You know what I mean? A deficiency would make us inferior. I don't get that. But anyway, that's the first step because in in order to have what I think you asked about, the first thing that we need is the cognitive dissonance removed that would allow them to accept the fact that, hey man, Michael Logic might be 10 times smarter than Elon Musk. This might be the case. And this doesn't mean your destruction. you know this means you could take the same seat that we took just based upon narrative, and watch how people with primal consciousness, watch how people with integrity treat you when they may have a little more, when they may have proven that they may be a little bit better in some particular area. We all have our predestined abilities. We all have our biological predestination, and it just so happens, that um, outside of us as individual humans, the next thing I think we have to address, if we just want to talk about technology, the next thing we have to address is the reason why you have to raise our value is because we are of and our people are sitting on the most valuable land on this planet as it relates to technology. If this wasn't the case, United States would be mining all of their coltan here. And I mean, they will be selling it to countries for astronomical prices, right? Mm. I mean, some countries wouldn't even have cell phones in EVs because the price would be so high, you know. So what I see, and I hate to say it, is I see a Terminator movie, and not the fact that man is going to have to fight machine. I really don't think so. Um, um, I firmly believe we're seeing this battle take place right now, and it's humanity versus money. I think that's the Terminator battle because that's what's playing out right now. And I firmly believe humanity is going to create technology. Humanity is going to create automation, sentience. I don't know that model their spirit. Um, the money people, they're going to do the same thing, right? If that's the case, who's really going to be fighting each other? The robots with spirits versus the robots with crypto wallets, I guess. you know, and just to round out to get back to your question, um, there is an innate um, culture that's been ingrained in all of us, and I firmly believe that the culture that you're seeing from the developers that are focused on money and focused on power and control, they originated from a land that was not as rich in resources, that was not as abundant in life, as to where their culture had to be generated based upon colonization, scarcity, the fact that you will have to take over something or you may not survive or you may not flourish. You know? That mindset, I think, takes a lot of trauma treatment. I'm gonna just call it that, trauma treatment, because their first reaction is to control, hoard, sabotage, kill. Okay, and you see it play out in history. Someone who is trying to bring someone like that into the fold, there has to be a certain understanding of those people and a certain procedure in doing it, because you could end up like Native Americans. You could end up like Africans. You can end up in a scenario where you came to the table first with the primal consciousness. You came with the gifts. You came with the food, the tradition, the love. You know, and you didn't know you were meeting hungry, savage, controlling, maybe even jealous. I can't speak on that. But what I can do is just speak on the end result actions in what you and I know as very intelligent beings. They're most often associated with these types of individuals. And I think that That step one and that step two is so omnipotent that we don't even need to talk about tech to start the problem of us working as if we were fighting a common enemy, you know? And then I maybe end that question by saying, hey, what I may contribute to the world, I firmly think that right now there's some purpose that has been put on my heart to create the marketing, to create the evangelism, or I can create the template for the evangelism that can help us identify who the common enemy is. And I think what was put on my heart was the common enemy is these habits and these actions that we are all taking that is damaging Mother Earth. And so everyone stands to benefit by us fighting climate change, by us fighting in environmental justice. Not only would it be profitable if we were all on one accord, right? We would evolve everything from energy, healthcare to computing just by working together to build the systems, apparatuses, and devices that would allow us to make a 1 quadrillion ton BTUs global carbon emission reduction and the development of a very robust and cost efficient, sustainable energy and capture and distribution system that is working on the latest and the greatest of technology that's requiring little to no $1 trillion reconstruction of these age old fossil fuel grids for us to achieve a new age energy infrastructure. What that does next is it allows us to actually master edge computing because we won't before we have a better energy infrastructure. Edge computing is going to be the culmination of what my team calls origin to memory superiority. We're going to do some things with AI and these new chips for processing a lot of sensory data and a lot of AI things closer to the origin that the data is needed rather than a ton of communication going back and forth from large data centers. That step right there, I think is something that we can do without bringing those people into the fold first, right? And then this might be me getting to the brass tacks of what my solution is for that, because this is a good question. Um, I firmly believe that my company, Enerjuice, along with Dr. Clark, Dr. Keeper L. Sharkey, Joseph Reddix, Sabina Sokol, she's the one of the co-founders of Girls in Quantum. We just recently brought on Bushra Amawala as a evangelist of the global positive impacts of climate action. And we're now focused on a situation where we can provide the computational chemistry, the innovative physics, and master systems integration of our computer science to drastically reduce the land usage, the energy consumption, and the water consumption of large data centers. The ballpark pre demonstration metric I may give you is we could reduce it 4.5x.
How would you recommend anybody who's starting out to build a business? And it's take it from perspective, if you were supposed to give a sort of business 101 for somebody who's venturing out, right,
Mhm.
to create a venture of their own in regards to technology, obviously, right? Research, technology, R&D. What are some key aspects that you would advise them, recommend them to keep in mind and follow through in order to be successful with their startup?
Okay. Um, let's start with two major mistakes that I made. Um, I may not be able to tell. I don't want to suggest what you should do. I'll start with saying one. What I think you shouldn't do is in a attempt to show you know how to code, in an attempt to show that you are a technologist, conjure up a solution and spend a bunch of time building that solution before you talk to a customer. Never do that. Never do that. I can definitely tell you that I wasted almost 4.5 years of my life with that particular mistake. And I'd say the takeaway was definitely, learning not to do it again. And then what was ingrained in me were all the things that I should have done to not get into that particular position. But this starts the litmus test. This starts the immediate pressure that you need to get out of that dream state, to get into that state of, I better make sure I love this, because once I reach that particular day where I really don't feel like doing it, there's nothing that's going to keep me doing it through that day. That I won't have enough passion for what I'm doing to go through that day, right? So do not, do not start a business based upon what you think is going to be successful. Like what? I would think the opposite of that would be something that could help you with number one. Right? Find a customer's problem that makes you passionate. And then the first thing that you're doing is you're spending all of your time finding one of those particular customers that doesn't mind being vulnerable, or doesn't mind letting you bug them, asking them 1,000 questions about that problem. Because when you go to build your system, if you're building a system based upon the way you think it should be built, you know, you just fell into, dump number one. When you go to do even, pre pseudocode, solutions for your architecture, everything you write down is gonna be like, you know what? He said this, she said this, she said that. I was gonna do this, but that was stupid because they said this, you know. And here it is. Now that next step in building a business is you're not actually excited about a product. Okay. As a technologist, you can build anything. What you're excited about now is that you have the passion and the skill set to solve these people's problem. Then you get into a position as to where you can articulate a solution to their problem, and you state that solution to that problem to those same people that let you bug them 24/7 about the problem, right? And right then and there, if they're not like, oh man, oh, that would solve a lot of pain points. Oh, geez, I would be so relaxed if you can bring that. If they're not saying that, then you gotta sit back and ask more questions, and you gotta throw away the thing that you just came to them with, because you didn't catch their pain points. You didn't hear them well. And I think from that step is where you start to build a solid business, because you can say to the first investor, not, I have a chatbot service, with these AI models that have super impressive, training layer ratio or something like that, right? I firmly think you messed up if you go to articulate your product in an elevator pitch and you use the word AI. Now that's tough for some people, because not everybody's a marketing guy. Not everybody has vision for, tightly aligning value benefits with the technology they build. A lot of brilliant engineers and technologists, they know how to code, but they don't know what to code, right? And I think I get a lot of kudos for that, knowing what to code. But I'll give you the secret sauce right now. The reason why I know what to code is because I think I overstand how to talk to my customers. I overstand how to fight for the underdog. I build technology for humanity, not profits. And it's like when you truly are built like that, you don't even want to build a system that humans don't feel is an enrichment in their life in every way, shape, or form. Because as technologists, we can do that. We can provide you a tool that has such little downside. You know, you got to be, Bozo the Clown to hurt yourself with it. You know, and I firmly feel that that comes from a foundation of starting a business based upon solving problems that real humans talk to you about, that real humans express to you, gives you that platform to fight through those days and nights, those conversations where you're basically being told you don't know what you're talking about. You're being told you don't have the resources to execute what you're saying. You're being told, hey, I need to see a demo first. And that's usually what will get some startups, especially if you're a tech guy, you're a tech founder, you're a tech woman. Um, you'll get caught up in trying to display. You'll get caught up in trying to demo when you really talk to the customer. If he or she is really honest with you, they'll look you in the eye and say, "I don't care how you get it done. I just want this end result." You know, I don't care if you use Chat GPT, Deep Seek, or low vibration. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. If you use a calculator or what's the other the Accubus? No, how do you say it? The little counting thing where you just slide the beads across.
Abacus, abacus.
Abacus, yeah,
Hmm, hmm,
abacus,
hmm.
yeah. So they don't care. Like what model? No, I sell high end refrigerators. I know AI is going to help me with my sales. I don't care what model I'm using. Matter of fact, I don't even know what model means as it relates to AI. What are you talking about? A human? A woman? No, I don't need pretty salesmen. I just need AI. Like, so, the people who are gonna uh, um, provide the revenue for artificial intelligence, they're not gonna have a model loyalty. They're not gonna have a brand loyalty. But you know what they are gonna have a loyalty to? Themselves. And you know what AI can do? Be them, for them, only them. Who made this possible? Not ChatGPT, not OpenAI, even though their shit said open, even though they started as a nonprofit company. Sorry for cursing. Who made this possible? People who developed AI for humanity.
How do you see society evolving in terms of the human to human interactions and relationships? Because it's really cluttered now. Like, apart from there being an entire digital environment for people to spend their lives upon, that digital space itself is becoming more and more cluttered as time passes, with each passing minute, for that sake. How do you think that will have an effect on the society in the terms of human interactions, relationships, and what is the way forward in that regard?
Um, I firmly believe in yin and yin yang. I firmly believe in Murphy's law. I'm fascinated by balance because when you think about balance and you think about Mother Earth, I like to think of Earth as a mother, as a woman. So for the sake of conversation, you know what I'm speaking about because this she it Earth is the largest living organism that we interact with. You know, And I think that this same journey of AI taking us down a path to rediscover what it means to be human, I also think that there's going to be a balancing of what you described, and there's a technical action at the core of all of that. Sharing, sharing without, sharing without. In a scenario where you had to do more to share with another human, right? We value sharing less. And so sharing is also losing its dopamine trigger, right? This is where I feel like there is 5 years of research that I did in the area of human impulse, in the area of subconscious impulsive thinking. And it was my desire to study it even further under rules of gamification, because I firmly felt that that's the the minor steps or the baby steps that we can take towards getting to a human and AI interaction that allows humans to greater know themselves in a way that they couldn't know themselves pre-artificial intelligence. Huh? Let me try to give you a small example. Okay, I'll just keep it really simple. You know how sales and advertising has just been hyper powerful due to all of these tools that can give you analytics, right? Due to companies coding and adopting processes that follow you around and take inventory of your movements and interactions, even if you don't want them to, even if they're anonymous, and just can provide conical IDs to things so that they can just have uh, uh, training data, to create stories of understanding from, right? Now, picture that being under your power is just your individual human, right? Picture that being under your power. Picture it being non-technical, so you don't need technology to do it, and picture it being a interface, a portal in which you felt very safe, right, in providing voluntary information that allowed AI to help you interpret yourself, not interpret others, not share with others, but further interpret yourself, further interpret the actions, further interpret emotions, because there's a mode of gamification that I figured out with that. Um, to say, hey, the more I share it with others, the more they know me, but the more I discover, the more I know of myself. Hence the fact that I'm giving you a little bit of the secret sauce of 5 years of research and development that that I patented in this area to develop a certain type of AI, a certain type of reinforcement learning, and a particular apparatus that worked with it. Um, what I call the antecedent of social media is coming. It's coming. And I firmly believe that that is going to be just as huge as Facebook, just as huge as all of your social media apps, and it's going to usher in multiple technical innovations that's going to change everything from human psychotherapy to quantum cybersecurity. And I think that's where you're going to see a balance. That's where you're going to see a yin yang. I think in 5 years, you're like, damn, that's what Mike Logic was talking about. Okay, I see what we're doing. Let's use this.
really intriguing. One okay, there's this other aspect to this conversation that you're having in regards to policy making. I mean, technology is evolving at a colossally fast pace, to
Man,
put it mildly, and somewhere the policy or the law aspect of things, the ethical consideration, the legal aspects, and policy in general, it is not being able to catch up to it. And
right.
this latency that we see right now is when the advancement in AI products has been recently nascent. Just thinking about what will happen in the next 5 years, 10 years, how do you think, or what do you think is the way that policy can catch up to, or at least stay a little bit at par with the exponential growth in science, technology, and advancement in general?
That is a super tough question, and it is a really good question. Um, my answer might be kind of naive, but I think there is something there from a ethical side and from a tech revenue side. Um, I have a theory called the push button theory. Um, and it is stated, so many words, recall our evolution in um, music players, in media players, right? Let me say we went from the LP to the 8 track to the tape deck to the CD player, you know, to the streaming media player, right? And what stayed undeniably consistent throughout all of those devices? The buttons that the humans had to push, right? Whether it was on the LP, you still had to press play, stop, you know. You didn't have any backwards or rewind, but you had to use your hand to get you to the spot that you needed. Okay, tape deck. You still got to push play, stop. Oh, you got rewind and fast forward now. But hey, you push that rewind or that fast forward, you got to chill for a little while. Remember having to wait for a song to rewind to hear it again? I'm not sure how old you are, but um, like I guess I went from I wasn't born for the 8 tracks, but I went from tape deck to Spotify, right? And what stayed unrefutably, undeniably consistent were those buttons, man. Because no matter how dope, how fast, how instantaneous that music is getting to you, you still had to push the proverbial button. So I firmly believe that um, law could be simplified to the proverbial push button theory if two things. One, we are willing to hold each other accountable um, for our actions, and also two, the value that we should hold in each other, right? And then two, knowing that no matter how dope, no matter how advanced, no matter how automated the technology, somebody had to push a button to start it. Someone had to push a button to do a myriad of things once it has done something, because it won't know what reward that it is accepting if the human does not approve or interact or execute based upon its actions. So, you know, you have what's that word I'm looking for? You have parameters, or you have constraints that are naturally around the technology that we're changing laws for. And if call me simple, call me primitive with that, but I think somebody should take me to NYU to show you guys that the push button theory will simplify everything. Because that push button theory can also be written from a legal jargon, from a legal context, and it would match everything that's going on right now, from the start of the internet and your basic websites in America Online to how we are distributing, delivering AI models. You know, and it's pretty damn easy that if a artificial intelligence needs massive amounts of human generated data, right? Human generated data, then that artificial intelligence for the progress of mankind should be close to or virtually free, almost. But what's not free is what each human can do with it, what each human can produce to solve a problem with it, right? That shouldn't be free. And also, too, when you go to publish something, right? The front end is where the law should be applied. You as the creator, you say, "Hey, I just created this," right? The law says if I put it online, AI can use it, right? Not saying AI owns it, but AI can use it. The world can learn from you, right? You push the button. You're the push button theory. Don't get mad because you push the button, buddy. You know what I'm saying? You push the button and put your stuff out there so AI can learn from it. And so here it is. We have humans, we have machines, and we have these learning intermediaries. I think that really simplifies the gluttonous arguments, the money arguments, the ownership arguments associated with how AI is being done now. Right? We can't keep up with laws. We can't keep up with technology with proper laws in the current way that we actually understand and operate with technology. If the creator, I make a song and I have an option of one, placing it somewhere so the world can learn from it, right? And what I mean by learn from it is, let's say the AI didn't produce your song verbatim, it learned from it and produced a Mike Logic style song. That's okay. And you were well aware of this via the push button theory law. That, hey, if I take this way, then this means that I have to be about my business. If I'm I should get a bunch of money for this, then only deal with money people. And that actually helps you clear your business up, because for you to get the maximum amount of money for something you say you're going to publish, it's all about the distribution channel and the levitators of your publishing, you know, right? Like, you can't cry about something that you published via, push button theory law, and decided to go the learning route versus the proprietary commercial route. And I think it's really clear, because when you produce something of any type of media, especially the media that you know these AI companies say that they're training and copying, right? All of that media that actually makes money, it really doesn't come directly from the person to making a bunch of money somewhere. Even your independent artists gotta have to put it through a streaming service company. You know, and even before it gets to the streaming platforms, they're using some kind of music publishing clearing service. You know? And in that case, hey, that music clearing service is governed by push button theory law, and nothing that is submitted to that company that's being published, by that company, has the ability to be used for learning. And I honestly think that would be a start. We're in a situation where, of course, man, it's theft everywhere, but not everyone can make AI. So you could minimize the theft. You could be to the point where, and then people are lazy too, right? So you got these super egghead mathematicians, uh, uh, and data scientists. They kill themselves creating these models, cranking these models out, right? And then it gets to the point where you know everybody knows and understands a model. Everybody's using AI. Nobody gives a shit which model they're using. Like even something as big as the number iPhone, I don't care. Like I bought my mom an iPhone. Hers is newer than mine. I got this iPhone. Nothing's wrong with it. I don't care. I can do everything. So who cares? So when you get to that particular point, I think that lack of model loyalty is going to do something in that area of making it exponentially easier for laws to.
I think one other matter that this entire definition encompasses is the significance and the seminal nature of being able to also market yourself and whatever your work is in a efficient way,
Mhm.
because surely there are ways and mediums and platforms right now more than ever, opportunities more than ever, to elevate your work and put it out into the world as a matter of testament to your abilities and competence in order to garner more success. But how you do that is how you do that correctly in the right way, which in do it successfully, is the matter that you have to put a little bit of your brain cognitive ability into. How does one go about doing that?
Mm, um, if I understand that correctly, I honestly think it's a simple question of ethics. You know, um, I may be naive, but I think we all are human with this ability to perceive, and whether we listen to it or not, I honestly think that almost every human has that consciousness in them to feel a particular discernment or particular instinct if they know they are taking advantage of someone else's work efforts. And um, man, I mean, machine was definitely modeled after man. The computer was definitely modeled after the human brain. And so it becomes that whole journey again. It floats back to, hey, we're in the AI era, and you can't get away from this. You really have to discuss the journey that we're taking as humans because you're facing challenges, problems, in self retrospection in a way that you haven't had to before. So I think it's going to be new ways of understanding ethics that weren't available. I'll give you an example. Not saying technology solves everything, but we having a tech conversation, and as humans, or as we get certain processes together in human to human interaction, and sometimes we record those and duplicate them into systems. Um, what I think could be an interesting topic or discussion is with the understanding of how AI is delivered open source, and also to AI could be encapsulated in a robust manner, let's say in a secure physical device or a secure physical kiosk, right? Think about the possibility of integrity and accountability testing for political leaders. Right? And we would just keep it really simple. Let's it could do a bunch of things, but let's just say we keep it to uh, official debates. Right? In real time, we could have a fact checking, teaching, integrity and accountability bot communicating with the citizens during this debate. You would know instantly, based upon trusted information, whether that Trump just said is a lie or truth, whether Kamala just lied or told the truth just then, based upon information that it'll show you right there on the screen as far as the source that it checked. I mean, we all use Chat GBT in your little chat box, and we see how it works, right? I mean, asking it a question, getting it to crank out a paper, you can get some sources right along with it, right? So yeah, in the way that we can manipulate, the way that we can you know, play around and gamify and advance these open source models like DeepSeek and Quinn, I know personally on my own two hands pushing keys, I could come up with a really cool government accountability bot. And it would literally only focus on fact checking speeches. That's it. And it could fact check a speech in person or through a medium. All it needs to hear is the audio. Nobody would want to pay for that though. Nobody would want that.
But okay, what would you then recommend the young people to go about learning in the current times to be able to stay relevant in the coming years? What should they make an essential part of their education, their curriculum, or what should they learn primarily?
Here's what I would love to see. And it might be a little radical, so I'm just gonna say it, buddy. I would love to see non-working age generation of all children worldwide, right? To hear Mike Logic say data is the new cotton and say, hold up, hey guys, let's band together and put a price tag to our data per megabyte. And let's make sure that big corporations figure it out, do what they need to do. In order for us to engage you, you got to pay us for data. And that's what I would want to see young people do because now is the time. Data is the new cotton. So don't pick for free. Take it from a black man, American black man, you know, don't pick for free. And you are in in a position that, hey, while your bills are still being paid, you got a room, you got a mommy, and you got a daddy, get on those phones, connect, organize, and realize that leadership, especially if you're in America, American leadership puts you in a position to where all the decisions they made, it almost looks like they don't even care about your future. You know, they put so many economic, financial, environmental, and spiritual debts on you already. your, America used your credit before you got a job. And now, if young people heard me and heard that, that would be their equalizer. That would be their counter. You will be rolling into working class America being paid before you get a job because they're already getting paid off of you. And that's what I would focus young Americans on. The technology to make that possible would probably be and look and sound similar to what I was talking to you about earlier. It would float around. It would seem like an antecedent of social media and something that young kids used in in viral dependence, like they use social media. It would end up paying them. Uh, just like how people got excited about TikTok, but um, um, in the same way that companies use your data while you're not doing anything for them, while you're not interacting with them. This is the way that your data should work for you while you're not doing anything, while you're not working with them. Why? Because the system is in place now. Data is the new cotton. So, you're a walking T-shirt factory, aren't you? Yes. If the whole big to do right now is, Sam Altman, Elon Musk, DeepSeek, everybody needs data, 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 data. Okay. How much? How much is it worth to you? Because I could probably get you some data that you're not even focused on right now. And that's where the kids go wild. They'll be thinking of things that these people aren't thinking of in their corporate structures and in their marketing meetings. They're always behind. The kids are always ahead. So here it is, you know, if you have the intelligence to structure your business as to where the kids bring you the new stuff, hey, give them a couple dollars for it. But you are the person that gets the loyalty, that gets the ideas, that gets the patience. Because if I gave Nike an idea and they were like, oh my God, this is so dope. Or if I just connected my blah, 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 I can't say what that is right now, to Nike, and they said, oh my God, we just had a valuable discovery based upon your particular data. And boom, it's already worked out. Like the compensation for it, right? And then boom, just like how they tried to get you on the blockchain and crypto to think about NFTs, right? The NFT philosophy is how the kids would do that. It doesn't need to be blockchain. It doesn't need to be NFTs. I think that was the stupidest thing in the world. But if you can understand the technical operations and the technical value benefits of NFT and blockchain, picture that's exactly how the kids would be able to democratize their data and interact with corporate America. And corporate America would benefit from this because, hey, just like you said, let's go back to that law question, right? How could you almost guarantee you're never plagiarizing? How could you almost guarantee going through the future that you have made a micro agreement with damn near everybody who's submitting data into your stuff? And that could be profitable for all. Because what are they trying to do now? But um, the people who are building AI for humanity, they had a different message. But think about American techs, the tech bros, and them building AI for money. And what was the biggest thing that they were trying to say to your general public? I think even Elon Musk went uh, as far as to say, um, I want to get my AI to the point where nobody's working and we all have like a standard median income that everybody just gets from the government. So he said that, right? He said that. Now, that makes sense if you want to take advantage of people, if you want to steal and rob from poor people. Elon Musk's philosophy is perfect. But if you're thinking about humanity, if you're thinking about the sustainability of your nation, all right, at that particular point right there, you could add value to every individual citizen in this country. A 5 trillion increase in the market cap by turning every last American into a walking t-shirt factory. What do you think? Only American companies paying for that data? No. our American data becomes more well, let me not say that. Let's say our American data would become as valuable as the coltan pulling out the Congo. You only need that for the data that you're receiving. you know, like there is market cap, there is revenue, there is a stronger middle class in approaching AI based upon humanity and not money and profits or capitalism. Because I don't think capitalism is actually equal humanity. I don't think so. I think capitalism equals money.
Moving towards the climax of the conversation, what is the most interesting piece of work that you are currently working towards or working on, and what is a significant bit that you are excited about in the future?
Okay. My most significant work. I may get a little sensational with this, but I want to keep it short, and then maybe have a good closeout commercial call to action. You are definitely talking to one of the inventors of patented quantum secure wireless energy. Okay, sounds a little crazy, but what that truly is Enerjuice, my energy IP company, has invented an approach to encrypting energy. Now, why? Why do we even care about this? Well, this was really the only reason, the only reason we aren't being powered off of Tesla electric technology right now in the robust form that he created it. Because of course, I'm not saying that Michael Logic invented wireless energy. Tesla gave America a look at that first. But the reason why that will never work, why that would never work for him, why that almost even made him ostracized. Why? His invention jeopardized capitalism. Because he wanted to give stuff away for free, or also, too, the computer wasn't invented then. So, what was the biggest thing that was missing? You needed a way to charge for the energy floating in the air. And that's where I think the most exciting project I'm working on now, you know, takes us, to the Jetson future, takes us to Futurama, because we have current near-term devices, systems, and methods that can bring you something that's been tested and proven for at least 200 years, right? Simply because we can show the government a quantum secure way to charge for it. you know,
Very, very interesting. And okay, right. It really is intriguing, very intriguing. Um, there's this final uh part of the episode that we do. Mr. Michael, what would be your word to humanity at large?
my word is that quote about AI. I want everybody to be aware that we are currently in a journey, a very, very, very important journey, a very exciting journey, because it's going to bring about happiness and the other stuff. Just choose on the way you look at it. AI is currently taking us on a journey to rediscover what it means to be human. So keep an open mind.
Thank you so very much once again. And I was coming from a predisposition. about already being very psyched to have this conversation, because
Hmm.
yesterday itself I had talked to Dr. Clark, and he had told me all the different aspects, right,
Hmm.
of your
Hmm.
work, and I was even more so intrigued by that.
Yeah.
However, I enjoyed the conversation
Yes, sir.
more thoroughly than I expected to before having it. So,
Gratitude, man. Gratitude.
I mean, thank you.
Yes, sir. And I believe you asked some wonderful questions, man. So if you ever want to do it again down the road, I'm definitely down. And I honestly think I may have some progress to report to you, in a couple months.
Most definitely, certainly. And